Hello, James here from Cobra Engineering. I just thought I'd make a real quick video showing not only just the thermostat housing version to eliminate this ugly steel tube or in the way steel tube, but also the new bypass non-thermostat system. Here, we'll jump right into it and make it real quick. All right, guys, here you can see I got a nice mock-up on my the engine here. I haven't got the balancer on yet because the next video I'm shooting is on the crank snout modification. But here we got the ugly steel crossover tube. Maybe not so ugly if some of you guys powder coat it and make it nice, but it does get in the way of a lot of setups. This is the bypass hose. When you hear me talk about the thermostat moving to the top, from the factory, the thermostat's on the bottom. So what happens, this is the bottom of the radiator. The top of the radiator's here. When your engine's cold, it takes this coolant, and this thermostat has a plunger, and it's open. So that goes right in the engine. It's just looping. Till it gets hot enough, this thermostat opens and it actually blocks off this hose. And then it takes water, or coolant, from the lower radiator. This goes up to the tank. Right here, I call it a degas tank, and for a reason. It's to degas the coolant or get the air out of the coolant. It's not an overflow tank. It's a sealed system. So then it goes in the engine. Here I got a mock-up oil cooler. This is actually out of a 98 Cobra. On the 0304s, this would be down lower because the alternator's up here. Now I'll put on the thermostat bypass system and I'll show you the difference. And the magic of editing. Here we go. So with this system, you're going to eliminate the bypass, you're going to eliminate this lower housing, and you're literally going to just pipe your oil cooler or your oil cooler delete to the lower radiator. And with the T, you can also bring this up to the degas tank. Now I'm not going to cover that here because we've covered that in another video where I installed this on my actual car. But I'm just showing you quick. The theory here is very simple. We get the thermostat out of the bottom, we move it to the top. There's bypass holes built in. Now the coolant works in an old school fashion. It flows through here all the time. It takes longer for the engine to warm up, admittedly. Always a good idea to get your oil up to temp no matter how your setup is. But this is this. Now I'll take this and I'll show you the new bypass setup without the thermostat in there. Now here you see I installed the new unit. Sure looks an awful lot like the old one. The only difference is you see there's no split here like there is here. I still put the bolts in there because I think it looks nice. The 1/2 inch extra is now on the top because we had to make room for this 1.25 inch. This is actually a -12 port in the bottom, so you could use AN fittings all the way around if you wanted. But 1.25 inch is what the bypass hose is. So now you just cut the elbow off, stick that right on there. Everything down here stays the same. You do this all on top. You don't have to put the car on a lift. You don't have to crawl underneath. You don't have to figure out what to do with the thermostat. You just want to get rid of that ugly steel tube. This is the setup. All you got to do to modify anything is cut this hose, put that on there, get a different hose, whatever you want to do. You run a radiator here. The other option is you could also plumb this up to the radiator, run longer lines, get this up there, and clean up everything in the front of the engine. Soon to come, I'm going to have a fitting that comes straight out the top because it's come to my realization that the Vortec guys can't have this coming straight out the front. Stay tuned for that. Go to the website, you can find this available right now. I do have hoses and fittings. You might want to email me and ask for that. The option may not be on the website yet. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you soon with this crank snout modification video.